Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I am really excited because the rewards for the fulfillment for the Vaesen Kickstarter that came out several months ago has finally arrived in the mail. This is the first Kickstarter I've ever actually backed, and I was really looking forward to this one. I was worried that it was going to be more difficult to get this than initially planned because this was in transit when Canada Post went on strike. And they did switch from a full shutdown strike to what's called a rotating strike, where it's only certain locations will be on strike for a period of time, and then they might move to different areas. So this actually did finally arrive, and yeah, I am absolutely stoked to see this. I mean, number one, we got another starter set, so you know how I feel about those. But yeah, we got some other cool things here as well, so I'm just going to move this stuff off to the side, and we'll take a look at these here momentarily. I think we'll end... ironically, we'll end with the starter set. But the first thing here is, I guess this was just for, I don't know if this was like for early pledge or just for like, you know, pledging to support the Kickstarter. But it did come with this pin, which is really cool. I think this is like the Society logo. So in the world of Awesome, you know, it's sort of like the industrial age has sort of warped or twisted these like mythical creatures, or it's forced them away from their home. It's upset the balance between the creatures and mankind. So what you end up having is like these things become, you know, more destructive. Like the Voss become like instead of helping with like crops, they may destroy them, or instead of just being like minor tricksters, you know, they may start luring people away to their, you know, their deaths and their demise. So, also where there are these like, you know, mythical creatures, they can only be seen if they want to be seen, except by a select number of people that have what's called the site, I think it's called. And the site, all these individuals, they've come together to sort of reform this organization dedicated to essentially dealing with these creatures, either trying to find ways to appease them or defeat and overcome them. So it's kind of cool. I actually do like the pin quite a bit. I don't put pins on stuff, so this is just going to stay on top of my shelf there as sort of a collectible item. And we got 2 books to go along with our starter set. So the first one here is Vaesen, City of My Nightmares. So this is a campaign book. So this is a full-length campaign in 4 parts. It's really cool to have this, because if I do get to run this game, you know, it'd be nice to have like the pre-written scenarios. Just because I'm not as well versed in like Scandinavian folklore as maybe I would like to be. But yeah, this is really cool. It is City of My Nightmares, gloriously illustrated by John. I'm not going to try that one. And Anton Vitus is set in 19th century Stockholm, but can be adapted to London, Prague, or any Gothic metropolis of the area. Let's see here. The characters are invited to the capital to investigate a series of grisly murders, only to become embroiled in a much deeper mystery involving the very origins of the society itself, and threatening to throw the city into utter chaos. So that should definitely be interesting. I do have another Vossen like adventure book, which is a compilation of just like cases for the society members to work on. But this one here seems like it's an actual like full story, whereas the other one were just cases to take on over the course of like however much time. This is like an actual dedicated storyline, so this should be pretty neat. I don't want to spoil too much. Again, I'm just opening this for the first time. I think I did download the PDFs, but I don't think I've actually had a chance to really look at them yet. So we've got City of My Nightmares here, and we'll just sort of flip through. I don't think there's any, is there a... Oh, okay, there's actually a handout in the back here. Looks like, it's a recreate. Okay, so it's a recreation of a newspaper. October 14th. Okay, that's pretty cool. And that must be like a map of the city on On the inside cover there, on the back cover, the inside of the front cover has a scene of sort of, I guess, the docks area there. You can see like some masts, the ships, a market area. So it's really nice artwork just right off the bat here. And I do like the overall like Vaesen kind of art style. So there's some maps. And again, I don't want to spoil too much here, but yeah, there's some really cool stuff. I probably skipped over a ton of the artwork, but there's a lot of decent artwork in here. So yeah, a campaign that maybe sheds some not so positive light on the society itself. That should be really kind of interesting there. So yeah, I'd also love the cover, like this, the raven with the human face there, and like the spectral creatures flying into the city. Really cool stuff. Like I really do want to run like Vaesen at some point. I kind of like the idea of like this Nordic horror, type of setting that they've created. So that's the first book, City of My Nightmares. The second book is Mythic Carpathia. So this one I'm kind of interested in, because this should be diving more into like vampire lore. And while I know that like the timeline doesn't permit it, it'd be interesting to see if there's any references to Elizabeth Bathory in this book. So she's one of the progenitors of like vampire mythology. And what do we got in the back here? Okay, looks like it's a map of Mythic Carpathia. So there's the map there. So that seems really cool. So I guess we take a look at the back of the cover here. So this beautifully illustrated hardback expansion to the award-winning Vaesen Nordic horror role-playing includes information about the Carpathia branch of the Society, a gazetteer of the city of Prague, a chapter with local Vaesen, and 3 complete mysteries to play. Mythic Carpathia is illustrated by, again, same guy from the other book. I think he does all the artwork, actually, or they do like a lot of the artwork from all the different books. Information on Carpathian society called Pravda. Its founders and headquarters in Prague, the new archetype vampire hunter, a chapter detailing no less than 16 local mythical beings, each with a background, stats, stories. These include vampire, golem, and the famous Baba Yaga. 3 complete mysteries to play in Prague, Ukraine, and Transylvania. And a large separate full color, which we just took a look at there. So, yeah, really cool stuff. All right, some different books to read, I guess, for like, well, these may have been things that they reference, actually, the bibliography. Ottoman Empire. So again, we're just kind of going through and flipping through the book a little bit here. History of Prague. So here's Pravda, the Carpathian chapter of the society. Got some really cool artwork here. We got some rare books, Baba Yaga. And there's our vampire hunter. And I like how like the different characters in Vaesen have some sort of like traumatic event that's kind of led them to joining the society. So there's already, you're not necessarily dealing with the most stable of individuals that can see these creatures. There's the Dhampir. The Golem. Homunculus. Strigoi. So that is a vampire type. I do know that from the Witcher series. And then there's the Vampire. So quite a few new creatures to add to the game as well there. That's pretty cool to see. And these must be the scenarios, so I don't want to spoil too much of them, but again, these are like really nice books, really high quality. Like the cover feels really nice, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it too well on camera, but it does kind of have this like sort of, again, just like a high quality sort of texture feel to the cover. Like it's not like a glossy or matte, it's just got like a really nice feel to it. So really cool. It'll be interesting to sort of go through and look at these in a little bit more detail. But now we've got the main event, the Vaesen starter set. So again, you know, like I love starter sets. I've got an entire series dedicated to them. I do have a poll up for the most current episode that I'm going to be recording in a day or two. I wanted to have it be like truly horror themed, but I wasn't in possession of this at the time that that poll went up. And the strike hadn't moved to the rotating strike at the time that I put or it had just moved to it, but after a few days there was still no movement of this actual package, so I wasn't able to include it, but it'll go up in a future one here. But yeah, the starter set, again, we got some really nice artwork here. So one of the Vaesen's Lady of the Lake type of thing. And it says, welcome to a mythic horror, Northern Europe of the 19th century, but not as we know it today. A land where myths are real. Vaesen Nordic horror role-playing based on the acclaimed art book by Johan Egerkrans. I said I wasn't going to try it, and I did, and I know I butchered it. Presents a dark gothic setting steeped in Nordic folklore and the dark myths of old. So yeah, so it does take place in like 19th century, I think it's mostly like 19th century, like Sweden, I think it is. But essentially, it's not like accurate to the actual history of like that time period. So there could be events that took place at the end of the century, but they're combined with elements that happened earlier on, or some that are just completely fictitious. So it's not really meant to be like a completely historically accurate thing. So it's kind of, you know, part of that, again, the setting of it. This starter set is designed to be the perfect starting point for role-playing in the Mythic North, where the characters are members of the secret society whose members have the sight, okay, it is the sight, to see Vaesen. This box set contains everything you'll need for game night, so condensed rules for action, skill tests, combat damage, and fear. The complete introductory mystery, The Haunting of Castle Glencruz, letting the players explore the headquarters of the society itself. Codex Occultum, the Society's old journal of Vaesen to be used as a resource for the players. 5 pre-generated and illustrated player characters, a large full-color map with the Mythic North on one side and the town of Uppsala on the other. A map of Castle, 3 handout sheets, 5 rules reference cards, 10 initiative cards, and 10 custom engraved dice for the game. So this is a D6 dice pool system, similar to like Alien or Mutant Year Zero. So they should all be D6s, I would say. And of course we have the 4 to 6 players, ages 14 and up. It says it takes like 180 minutes. Which is, 3 hours? So, okay. I mean, that's, 3 to 4 hours is a pretty decent gaming session when you get to my age. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this open. All right. Don't want to scratch anything here. Just want to start the scene going. All right. We'll do the unboxing, and then I will start adding this to some of the upcoming polls for Starter Set Saturday. So we've got the box set here. Let's just pull this down maybe just a little bit. Well, that opened nice and easy. I do appreciate that. We do have our silica gel desiccate stuff, so we're just gonna throw that out. Actually, okay, if this is the complete list of books, because I have these two, I have this one, I might only be missing 2 books. Oh, no, Mythic Britain and Ire. Okay. No, sorry, I have this one. I don't know if I have this one. And we've got The Lost. I can't read what that one is, but I think these are the only 2 books that I don't have from the collection. I thought there were more, so I might consider looking into getting the rest of them there. We do have the Free League Games catalog. So we did recently go through this with the One Ring, but we do have the 2nd edition Alien RPG. We've got Blade Runner. We got the 2 One Rings. We got Dragonbane, Coriolis, which I'm hoping to get that book soon. I placed an order for it. I know I talked to the PR team representing Free League, and they said they were going to add me to the list, but I haven't seen anything come up since, and I'm not going to force the issue with them. So I did order it from a store, I think it was 401 Games, I think they had it in stock. And there is Vaesen showing off the starter set, Symbaroum, and then some of the games that I don't have. I don't have those 4. I do have The Walking Dead and Twilight 2000. Don't have Forbidden Lands yet, but hopefully soon, and Mutant Year Zero. Yeah, awesome stuff there. So, really cool catalog. Oh, okay, and there's their Mythic level backers. I did not back the Mythic level of this one. I kind of regret not doing that now, like going back. I didn't know how to edit my pledge either. I was worried about it, like canceling or something like that. So, because I had reprinted the core rulebook with some errata in it. I don't think it drastically changes anything, but it did have some errata in it. So I might have to look into getting that. And it also included a GM screen, which I really would like to have as well. But here are our initiative cards. I'm not going to take them out. They're just numbered 1 through 10. But I like the fact that like the back has almost like the silent movie cards on them. And here are our dice. So we got the 6 symbol there. There's the 1. Really cool stuff. And then we've got our rule booklet. So this has a nice glossy cover to it. And it is staple bound, which is nice to see. Because I think some of the other starter sets have had like the glue binding, and the glue binding is okay, but it can fail. I do have one. It wasn't a starter set, but my Destroyer of Worlds Alien set. The pages started coming free of the cover, so I do have a replacement version of that on its way as part of the Alien Kickstarter. So yeah, so the full game gives you the other reasons. So I might have to take a look. Might be within my ability to get the full set. Multiple successes. So again, some really nice artwork in here. And like the interesting thing about again with Vaesen is that like combat is definitely a part of the game, but it's not necessarily the best or most efficient means of overcoming like the challenges there. So like part of it is just researching these creatures and finding sort of ways to use their own. Okay, this is the adventure. I don't really want to flip through that here, but that's the scenario book. but sort of just using like their own customs or like their own idiosyncrasies against them, sort of thing. So here, whoop. So oh, this is really nice. Okay, so this is the Codex Occultum. So this is for players. This is intended for the players, and it gives information on the different creatures, and quite a few actually. Like this is a pretty extensive book. These might be all the creatures actually from the core. These might be all the creatures from the core book, and maybe even some extras there. Will-o'-the-wisp. Yeah, that is really nice. And then we've got some quick reference cards for the players. So that's really cool. And then we've got some handouts. And I think finally, oh no, we got the map too. So we got our characters. So we got Toron Matzes. Again, I'm not going to be good with these names. There's the character there. Otto Nystrom. Oh, I start here. Selma Nilsdotter. Nilsdotter. And then Erasmus Frisk. So those are our characters, and then finally, we've got the fold-out map. Oh, 2 maps. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay, that's just really thick stock. It feels like there's more to it than there is, but there's the castle. And then you've got the Mythic North on one side, and Uppsala on the other. So a pretty solid, again, a nicely put together starter set. Some decent components there. I really like the copy of like the sort of like the guidebook that the heroes would have access to. Whoops. I should put everything in there, shouldn't I? The cards. All right, so there we go. That was the Vaesen Kickstarter fulfillment. So really excited about this. I do want to spend a little bit more time kind of diving into these. I like the idea. I like the Nordic setting. And again, like playing things like The Witcher kind of had me more interested in like checking this system out. And Free League initially were like the actual core rulebook and the adventure book, or scenario book. I don't think adventure is quite the right term, but the first scenario book there, they sent that to me. We didn't even talk about that, but this was years ago, and just a really captivating RPG. So I'm hoping to get a chance to run it at some point with either one of my in-person groups or one of my online groups. We'll try to figure something out for that. But yeah, really, really cool. So this is the first ever Kickstarter I've backed. The next Kickstarter that should be on its way, hopefully soon, is for the Alien Second Edition, or what do they call it there? The Evolved Edition of the Alien role-playing game. The first edition Alien game I absolutely love, but I'm really looking forward to the changes that they've come up with in the new version. But in the meantime, that's still on its way or yet to ship out, but this is here, and I'm super excited to spend some time with this and look through and get a chance to run this starter set. This actually, because the scenario is only a few pages, this might actually be a really great scenario to try to run at an upcoming King Con. For like a 4-hour game session type of thing. So I might, we're taking a look and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for next year. And this one has suddenly risen to the top of the list of games that I kind of want to run. So anyway, we'll figure it out. Once again, thank you all for your time. I do appreciate if you have played the Vaesen role-playing game. Let me know what your thoughts on it are. Did you back the Kickstarter as well, or are you going to get some of these components individually once they become available through regular retail? Let me know that in the comments below. Thank you all so very much for your time. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.